Hey guys, how's it going? Shinigami Sam here to do a review on Boku no Hero Academia Chapter 100. Now I'm doing this in a different area right now, but we're gonna stick through with it and we're gonna carry on. So this chapter of Boku no Hero Academia 100 was amazing, and it really does get you a bit nostalgic. It gets you a bit teary-eyed if you're like me, who's been with Boku no Hero Academia since the start. Now I've been with, up to date since Chapter 8, so it's been a very long ride, but it's been fun. Like, honestly, I can't say that it hasn't been fun. We've been through so much hype times, we've been through so much sad times recently as well. Boku no Hero has just given us a barrel of laughs, and that's why I love this series. The greatness, it keeps on escalating, and that's why I can really testify to this series that is Boku no Hero Academia. And I have to really give props to Horikoshi, and I'm extremely proud of him for especially getting through 100 chapters, because getting through 100 chapters is the big milestone, the big 3-digit number, and not a lot of mangakas even get into 100 chapters. Sometimes their series gets axed because, you know, it's not the population's not that very big, the ratings are kind of low. A lot of things happen. Some series do get axed. So the fact that it's going over into 100 chapters, into that milestone, props to Horikoshi. I think that's his first series to get to 100 chapters. His previous ones, they didn't. So he must feel very proud of what he does. And the man's humble. He loves what he does. And that's what I really like about it. As I said, that's what I can testify as being a fan of this series. Is always progressing. And that shows you that the mangaka Horikoshi, he's taken the time into improve his work, not just the artwork, but also the storytelling and his passion that he has for the characters. So I just wanted to say that for a little bit. For 100 chapters, guys, we made it. It's been a journey. The hype train has not stopped, and it's not going to stop. So let's get into the greatness that is this chapter. Now, I want to talk about the ending. Of course I have to talk about the ending. All that I can say is that Hatsume, that's her name, she is increasing in the list of being best girl. Let's just say that. She is changing my mind very quickly. She's coming up the ranks to be best girl. It is tough, man. Oh, gosh, Hatsume. This chapter was actually hilarious, and this is what I like about it. The thing is with Boku no Hero, you never know what you're going to get. With 100 chapters, I thought it was going to be some massive kind of unpredictable kind of thing, something big to happen, but no, we get a bit of, you know, humour, you could say fan service as well, and it's just funny as well. Like, Deku's face at the end, man, I'm not even going to describe it, because that's on another level than Mineta. He's right up there with Mineta right there. So that was hilarious to see, and Hatsume is just like, Hatsume, man, she's climbing up. She is climbing up, people. But, oh, Chaco, Uraraka's face right then and there. Like, the jealousy was real. Her skin, like, if that was animated, her skin would have been green right there. Green with jealousy, man. It was actually hilarious. I'm really loving we do know, like, the relationships. Horikoshi's kind of, he's been delving into it pretty much. With relationships, you know. I know there's a lot of ships between Momo and Todoroki, Uraraka and Deku, but it seems like Deku's got a lot of girls going around him, like Flip, Suyu, Uraraka, Hatsume. There's probably even more. Like, honestly, it's actually crazy. But yeah, let's talk about everything else in this chapter. So this chapter was actually pretty good for. It was all about super moves, like special moves, and it's actually very important for a hero's arsenal, you could say, for just in general what a hero actually is. A special move is extremely important. It's significant because it can change the tides in battle, and we do know a lot of special moves. For example, All Might's, you know, United States Smash, Detroit Smash, Todoroki, he's got like Giant Ice Ridge. We know Bakugo's had a lot of names, Howitzer or stuff like that. He's got a lot, but I can't remember all of them by the top of my head, but we know stuff like Ida, Reciprocal Burst, and throughout this series, we've seen the significance of the super moves. It's memorable, it helps turn the tide in battle, and it kind of encompasses what a hero actually is, what they actually are. For example, when you think of United States Smash, or like Detroit Smash, you immediately think to All Might. It kind of resonates with the hero, and their superhero move becomes their hero, like their symbol as well. So it was really interesting to see all of that getting explained in that chapter. And I really did like that, to be honest. It was pretty cool. I'm excited to see all the heroes' moves. We saw a little bit of showcasing, for example. We saw, I believe her name's Ashido, the acid girl. I always forget her name, but I do think it's Ashido. She's actually so cute. It's unbelievable, especially in this chapter. Like, she's failing, but like she's still got the positivity and enthusiasm on her face when she splurts out the acid from her hands. So I really do like these characters. Characters like her, freaking Kaminari, you better make an electric sword. That would be so hype. Could you imagine a full-on like lightning electric sword? Like, and, that would be amazing. Kaminari, make it happen. Make it happen. That would be beautiful. We didn't get to see Todoroki. We saw obviously Mineta. We saw a lot of other characters, and I just like the execution of this chapter, especially with the teacher. I said in my previous review, I like the choice of teachers that Horikoshi used, Cementos, Ectoplasm, and Midnight, because we don't really know we don't really know a lot about those characters. I'm really interested in Cementos. I really do love his quirk, the fact how he can just manipulate cement. Like, in our society, that is unbelievably powerful. Like, I can't explain how much of an advantage he would have in a battle in the city. That is just crazy. Like, he's got so much advantage. But obviously, he would obviously, you know, like, need to think about disadvantage as well, because he literally can control cities. That's pretty much his quirk. At his highest potential, he can probably destroy a city if he wanted to. But enough of that. I want to talk about a bit of the development. Now, this is what we see with Deku in this chapter, and it's been reinstated before. All Might comes to Deku, and All Might's like to Deku, you're still trying to imitate me. Now, Gran Torino said this in chapter 50 something, I believe, when Gran Torino was just like, your admiration for All Might is like shackles on you. So, this really does need to be addressed, and I'm sure that Horikoshi will address this in the next couple of chapters. The way that Deku sees All Might, we all know this, is like idol. All Might, Deku worships All Might. Now, you could say that's good because it's also a part of his drive to become the best. But it's also bad because he's limiting his own uniqueness, you could say. Because he wants to be like All Might so much to the point in time where he's thinking of special moves subconsciously where it'll be similar to the smashes. And that's not just Deku's character. Just because he got a quirk from All Might, just because he got one for all from All Might, he can still be his own character. And we have seen a little bit of developments from that. And this is what I like about it, because the realism is unbelievable. Character development. If character development occurs in one chapter, for example, if something happens to a character in one chapter, you don't expect their whole philosophy, their whole way of mind to change in the next chapter. Because in general, that's not how humanity works. For example, if I've been thinking for the past, 10 years about something, or I've been living a certain way of life for the past decade, if someone comes up to me and says a couple of things, my whole life's not going to be changed and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, I'm not going to just forget those whole 10 years, that whole concrete path that I've walked upon, and just be like, you know what, that's wrong, or like, I'm gonna forget all of that and just live on that the next day, and I'll be like a whole new person. It doesn't happen like that. It's never like a flick of a switch. That's not how a change occurs in someone. It's gradual, and they mold into that change. They mold into that person. And we've been seeing this with Deku, and Deku's character, for example, when he was choosing his name, he didn't want to be something like, he was first thinking of what was it called? Kid Might, or Might Boy, or something like that. But then he was just like, no, I want to be my own person. I want to be Deku. He's the vibe of never giving up. So we're seeing Deku slowly becoming into his own person. Not just a shadow from All Might. Not just a successor of One for All. But also Midoriya, Izuku, his own person. So I really did like how that was touched upon in this chapter. Now, we see obviously he's going to developments. Now I'm kind of interested in this. What kind of improvement to his costume is gonna help with his arms? Is it going to be some sort of kind of bracing where when he uses One for All, so he can up the limit, but the bracing, like the costume absorbs a bit of the impact, so like the firecrackers, the sensation doesn't occur within his body? I'm not really sure. Tell me your thoughts in comments below what you thought and what you think any improvements will be improvements will be on Deku's costume, because I'm kind of interested about that too. We see Ida, he's going to improve some of his costume as well. I believe Uraraka is as well. I think we saw Power Lifter, was it Power Loader, in this chapter at the end. He's a teacher. We saw him right at the start with the Villain Alliance. We don't really know anything about him. I just wanted to point that out because I do love his character design. It's pretty cool. He's got the massive helmet. It looks like a robotic mechanic dog kind of thing, mask. That looks pretty cool. I want to know more about that. I want to see more about that. And as you guys know, chapter 101, that's going to be awesome. We're going to find more special moves. We see a bit of Bakugo in this chapter as well. And Bakugo's gone in strides, I must say. Like, the way he was just talking and the way he was just representing himself when he was asking Ectoplasm for another clone, even saying manners and stuff like that. It's just the little things that you can see a shift in Bakugo's characters. I thought that was quite monumental. So this is Shinigami Sam. Tell me your thoughts and comment below what you thought of this chapter. If you liked anything that I had to say, please drop a like, that would be greatly appreciated. Shinigami Sam, subscribe for weekly reviews of Boku no Hero Academia, and I'll see you next week for that greatness that is chapter 101. Shinigami Sam, goodbye.